many times brought up the dollar cost averaging strategy. And the reason we do is because it's tried and true. I had many calls over the last several months, as maybe you have, Joe, also, about, well, things are a little volatile. Things are maybe going to get worse. I think I'm going to go ahead and stop my distribution or my contribution into my 401k. We have several clients that are sending money in every month. That is the worst thing that you can do. Dollar cost averaging is a tried and true process of taking your fixed dollars, whether it be $100 or $1,000, and investing them in said portfolio, whatever that may be. It could be stocks, could be bonds, probably a little more effective when it's in the stock portfolio. But what you are doing is you're buying a fixed dollar amount, and of course, share prices are going to drop. Whether you have a mutual fund or an individual stock, prices are going to go up and they're going to go down. We can't control that. What we can is the money that's going in. And again, your power to become wealthy is your income, and it's your savings. And by stopping because we have a gut feeling is a really bad decision. If you invested $100, this is for you young investors listening, for mom, for grandma. If you invested $100, that's Starbucks for a month, from age 25 to 65 in an average growth mutual fund, your value, listen to me, your value at age 65 would be $1.1 million. You want to become a millionaire?
$100 a month.
$100 a month. We could go another route. If you were in your 20s and you invested $7,000 a year for 10 years, that's $70,000, right, and you left it in the market. You didn't get out. You didn't get in. At the end of 40 years, that portfolio is worth a good growth mutual fund, $2.3 million, versus waiting until you're 35 and investing 40 year or the same amount period.
$7,000 for 10 years.
Right.
Yep.
Or you have 217 that you invested, your portfolio would only be 1.4. I guess my point here is start early, start often, and stay the course. If you're looking for wealth, your power is in consistency and time. And again, dollar cost averaging, you're buying shares on sale over the last 2 months, and those shares that you bought on sale are now worth more money. And again, it's here's where it's a negative. Where might it be a negative, Joe? If you have sold a house or you had a large inheritance and all of a sudden you came into large amounts of money and you decide to dollar cost average and the markets went up 20%,
mm-hmm.
Right? That's the risk you take.
Sure. However, and you're looking back and saying, gee, I should have put it all in when the market was lower.
Correct.
But who knows?
But you don't know that. Right. Correct. And so the idea there, it's proven. It's something that I promote strongly. And if you're in a 401k and you called your HR individual and said, I want to pause for a while, you need to call Monday morning and say, let's go in and let's max all that we possibly can. Yeah. Again, a tried and true process.
Yeah, you're 100% right. You've been at it long enough, Harry, and I have as well. When we started in this business, it was theory. Does this really work? The older guys talk about dollar cost averaging, putting in that money, and what is it really going to go to? Well, you and I have seen, I can't tell you, countless numbers of folks that have retired because they just stuck with it through good times and bad. And the real key is, as you said, is don't let your emotions get involved, but you're putting in the same dollar amount, taking advantage of the declines in the market. When your gut tells you to run for the door, when it's screaming, the world is coming to an end, it's different this time, we got to get out. And the worst thing to do then is cash out, right? Not only stop the dollar cost averaging, but to cash out, sit on the money market account, and wait till it goes back up and get back in.
This time period feels a lot like COVID to me.
Mm-hmm. Yes, actually, 5 years ago.
It feels a lot like COVID to me. In 2020, folks, we experienced something that was to us as planners, we were we came in. I didn't take many days off during COVID, and we're wondering where the bottom is because we were seeing 1,000, 1,500 point drops a day,
Right.
and we saw almost a 30% decline. By October, we were even, and by December, we had a rate of return of 15% in the S&P 500, or 12%, I think it was in the S&P 500. Who would have thought? And here's the thing: it's people were still dying, people were still losing their jobs, cities were empty.
We were wearing masks and standing 6 feet apart at McDonald's trying to get the French fries.
And so the difference now is instead of COVID, it's tariffs.
Yep.
Right? And the focus has been on tariffs. And I mean, just this past week, we saw a contraction, and yet we saw a nice little week on Wall Street.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't guess. You need to take the emotion out and continue quality investing, and not speculating.
Yeah.
Not
The
speculating.
S&P has had its best record in the last 20 years.
Yeah.
So this month, the month of April. So, or last month, I should say, the month of April. So, yeah, the real key is, folks, and we preach this time and time again if you're ready to listen to this program, is that you want to stick with the program, because the companies that you own are not going out of business. They're going to adjust. They're going to make decisions based on what's going on in the world to continue to grow and to continue to provide dividends to their stockholders and continue to be in business. I mean, that's, and smart management will do that. And the key is, of course, to be diversified, have money in different forms of investments. Trying to pick individual stocks, as we know, is very, very, very difficult. It's why we espouse using no-load mutual funds and low-cost ETFs for our clients and building portfolios around that strategy. And finding the best mutual funds and the best ETFs is the way we do. And by the way, we haven't talked about Score My Funds in a while, Harry. Maybe there's an opportunity to do that. It's a system that or an opportunity we provided to our listeners over the many, many years. If you just want some insight into the quality of the mutual fund or the ETF that you own, this isn't for individual stocks now. This is for mutual funds or ETFs. It's a system that was developed by the Center for Fiduciary Studies. That's what Harry and I and the 15 other certified financial planners do to screen the investments that we offer to our clients and the investments they hold and determine whether or not we want to make changes. But it's Score My Funds. You got to go to scoremyfunds.com, scoremyfunds.com. You put in the tickers. If you don't know the tickers, there's a pull-down menu. Just put in the fund name, and within 48 hours, we will send you a detailed report scoring your investment on 11 distinct criteria, everything from manager tenure to expenses to performance to alpha and Sharpe ratio, all the things that you need to look at and analyze when you're making an investment. But the key is diversification with quality, and that in time works. And the drops in the market is the price that we pay to get above average returns over time. I mean, it's a bitter pill that you have to take to accept the fact. And I think too, Harry, people, you see it, I see it, people are at or near retirement, and all of a sudden they want to become conservative. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah. It's the idea that once I retire, the world ends or stops.
Right.
When we do financial planning here, which we do a lot of, we like to use 90, 95. I think there's one planner in the office that uses 100 as life expectancy. If you retire at 65 or 67 or even 70, theoretically, you have 20 years for that money to continue to last. And putting it under the mattress is not one of the options.
Right.
And so you need to stay invested. Maybe we get a little more conservative. Maybe we downshift, and if you were in a 70-30 or 60-40 portfolio, we might go 50-50, or, it depends on your situation. It depends on your debt. It depends on a lot of your expenses per month. Right. There's a lot of factors that go into that. But just because you're retiring doesn't mean
your life stops.
Your life stops.
Right.
That is far. In fact, with inflation and taxes and now you have your RMD, and all of a sudden your tax bill goes up because you're forced to pull money from your 401k or your IRA. All of a sudden your tax bill's up. So you need growth. You need to have growth throughout. And equities is proven time and time again, 75% of the time, equities go up.
Yep. And so the name of the game is to stick with the program. When you get into retirement, one of the biggest expenses that you have is long-term health care, and people don't factor that in. So you have to have some gas in the tank to get you through that. And of course, when you retire, you've got more free time, and more free time means usually more spending. You want to do those things. Yep, you want to do those things, or spend time with your grandkids, or see the world, or whatever it is you want to do. So you got to get that money to grow, but you don't want to go crazy. Then the worst thing to do is be really aggressive or be too conservative. You got to be somewhere in the middle. Find that good mix of equities and fixed income to get you to and through your retirement years. And that's what Harry and I and the 15 other certified financial planners do for our clients, Monday through Friday for a fee. On Saturday morning, as I said, we're here for you absolutely free. So if you want more information about what we do, you can go to our website. That's financialgroup.com. financialgroup.com, and we hope to see you in the office. And I hear the bumper music. Josh, take it away.
Thank you so much, Joe and Harry. If you want to join the conversation, we got open lines, like Joe mentioned, 844-580-9326 is the number to call in right now. I almost gave out the office number, which I'll go ahead and give out there now for Certified Financial Group. Rodney Ownby taking calls off the air at 407-869-9800. But if you want to call in right now and get your question answered by Joe or Harry, 2 certified financial planners with the Certified Financial Group. We got open lines here at the station, 844-580-WDBO, 844-580-9326. You're listening to On the Money, where we're planning tomorrow
Today
with the Certified Financial Group.
Certified Financial Group have been guiding our local clients toward financial peace of mind. The rest of the world is still catching up, but our team of certified financial planners are the local, experienced fiduciaries you can trust. Certified Financial Group are your Central Florida planners. Call us today.
40 years ago, I had a dream of building the best personal financial consulting firm in Central Florida. Now, with 14 certified financial planners acting as fiduciaries, I believe we're there. But don't take my word for it.
As we approach retirement, we have the freedom of choice.
Peace of mind that we now have, that's everything to us.
The people that work here are honest and caring, and I feel like I can go to sleep at night.
So schedule your no-obligation visit today at financialgroup.com, or we're planning tomorrow, today. For more than 40 years, our certified financial planner professionals, acting as fiduciaries, have been providing retirement planning and asset management for a fee to countless families across Central Florida.
We've been with Certified since 1992.
We're now into the 3rd or 4th generation of clients that have come to CFG and the team here to do a great job.
It's been so long since I've been doing this that I just don't even worry about anything anymore.
We're Certified Financial Group, but we're planning tomorrow, today. Our fiduciary approach of providing retirement planning and investment management for a fee seems to resonate with our clients. But don't take my word for it.
I knew a gentleman that I worked with who had come to Certified Financial Group.
A friend of mine recommended them, and they were totally correct how good they are.
I had heard from somebody else that it was the best one in town.
I've sent several of my teacher friends here.
We're Certified Financial Group, but we're planning tomorrow, today. You may be new to the area, but we're not. For more than 40 years, our certified financial planner professionals, acting as fiduciaries, have been providing retirement planning and asset management for a fee to countless families across Central Florida.
We've been with Certified since 1992.
We're now into the 3rd or 4th generation of clients that have come to CFG and the team here to do a great job.
It's been so long since I've been doing this that I just don't even worry about anything anymore.
We're Certified Financial Group, but we're planning tomorrow, today. Black Monday, the dot-com bust, 9/11, and now 2 wars. We've pretty much seen it all. Acting as fiduciaries, our CFP professionals have been a steady hand guiding our clients to and through their retirement years.
No reason to be worried about anything.
Stay the course. You stay the course, and you get there.
I don't have to worry about it like I know a lot of people look at it every day. I don't have to do that with the team here at Certified Financial Group.
We're Certified Financial Group, but we're planning tomorrow, today. Are you tired of trying to reach your advisor through a call center and being put on hold for 20 minutes? That's why we don't use one, and our clients seem to appreciate the personal touch.
They always answer my questions and really care about what's going on with me.
You can trust what they say, and they do what they say, and it gives you a comfort feeling it's hard to find in the world today.
Waiting for you to call almost. You almost feel like that.
We're Certified Financial Group, but we're planning tomorrow, today.
investor, you want peace of mind. You need to know that your advisor is not only thoroughly competent, but also a fiduciary. In other words, he or she is acting at all times in your best interests. You need to trust your advisor, regardless of how much money you have to invest or what part of the world you're in. It might not be your money you're entrusting the advisor with. Perhaps you're a board member of a charity or foundation whose future depends on prudent investment. Or perhaps you have the responsibility of making investment decisions on behalf of other people. As the trustee of a retirement plan, the decisions you make can have a direct impact on the lives of your employees. Whatever type of investor you are, the solution is to use an advisor certified by the Center for Fiduciary Excellence. A CFEX certified advisory firm demonstrates its adherence to a global fiduciary standard of excellence, a defined standard with specific criteria covering 20.
Welcome back to On the Money, brought to you by the Certified Financial Group. Sitting here with me today on the air, we got Joe Bert and Harry Stadelmayer, two certified financial planners with the Certified Financial Group. If you want to join the conversation, you can call in 844-580-9326. That's 844-580 WDBO, or you can leave an open mic. Just go ahead and open up that WDBO app. In the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see a button that says open mic on it. Hit record, send it on in, and I'll play it back live on the air, like Mike from Orlando.
This is Mike from Orlando. I have $115,000 to invest. I'm looking for an investment that will pay me a monthly dividend. Thank you.
A monthly dividend, Mike says.
First of all, Mike has a future in radio. That's a great voice.
So Mike didn't call in. Oh, he did call in on the app, and unfortunately, we can't ask him a lot of questions. But what he's looking for is just simply income. He's got 115 grand. So what do you tell him, Harry?
Well, there's several options that you could look at. First of all, there are a lot of folks that are looking for individual stocks that paid really nice dividends. That may be a little risky. There are some names out there that do pay a nice dividends. I personally, in my practice, like to use a combination of maybe some dividend-paying mutual funds or ETFs that is a conglomerate of maybe some long-term, short-term, maybe some international bonds. And that portfolio may consist of some equities as well. But typically, you're looking at putting the portfolio, making sure the portfolio is diversified is what I'm trying to say. I would not take the whole 115,000 and throw it into one stock or maybe even one mutual fund.
Right.
There are some sectors also right now. I was looking this week at a couple utility mutual funds paying some pretty nice dividends out there. So,
right.
The other thing you want to make sure of is that you're diversified in the 6 or 5 different mutual funds that you select. But purchasing an individual stock and putting all 115 into a Verizon or something of that sort, I would not recommend. Using a well-diversified portfolio would be what I would suggest.
When people looking for income, I understand it's the old mentality. I want to put the money in there, and I just want to draw whatever it generates from it, knowing that my principal will be there. When you look at the options that you have, let's start with the most conservative. You can do Treasury bills. Okay, you're going to get around 4% in 10-year, but of course you're tying it up for 10 years. And once again, there's no guarantee that if you sell at the wrong time, you'll get your money back, because when interest rates go up, the value of that Treasury bill is going to go down, even though it's guaranteed by the government, unless you hold it for 10 years. And conversely, when interest rates go down, the value will go up. So but you're going to have fluctuations in it. Or you can put in a money market account today. You're going to get under 4%, but it's totally liquid, and it's always there. But there's another way to skin that cat. I don't think many people really consider this, and I think you were alluding to this. You put together a diversified portfolio of equities, equity ETFs and equity income bond funds, and you strive for an overall rate of return. Once again, there's no guarantees there, but a target rate of return of somewhere between 6 and 7%. And if you draw what the market will give you in a conservative investment of about 4%, you're going to still have some growth, and you're going to be able to get your income. And the way you take your money out is you let those underlying investments do what they do, generate some income, generate some growth, and you structure it so you peel some off every month. And you just sell a little bit in the portfolio and you take the income. And it's an easy way to do it. It's what we do for our clients in retirement. We don't stick them purely in retirement income funds because you got to have some growth to go with it. But we don't know enough about Mike's situation. And if he's just looking for something short term, those are some of the options we discussed. But if you're looking for something long term, I would look at a diversified portfolio and recognize that you can draw some income from it. And also get some growth at the same time. So, Mike, I'm not sure if that answers your question directly, but it does give you some things to think about, and we appreciate your phone ringing.
Thank you so much, Mike. If you want to call in, 844-580-9326. Even if your name is not Mike, you're welcome to call in at 844-580-WDBO or send in your open mic using the WDBO app. You're listening to On the Money, where we're planning tomorrow
Today
with the Certified Financial Group.
40 years, our certified financial planner professionals, acting as fiduciaries, have been providing retirement planning and asset management for a fee to countless families across Central Florida.
We've been with Certified since 1992.
We're now into the third or fourth generation of clients that have come to CFG and the team here to do a great job.
It's been so long since I've been doing this that I just don't even worry about anything anymore.
We're Certified Financial Group, where we're planning tomorrow, today. Our fiduciary approach of providing retirement planning and investment management for a fee seems to resonate with our clients. But don't take my word for it.
I knew a gentleman that I worked with who had come to Certified Financial Group.
A friend of mine recommended them, and they were totally correct how good they are.
I had heard from somebody else that it was the best one in town.
I've sent several of my teacher friends here.
We're Certified Financial Group, where we're planning tomorrow, today. You may be new to the area, but we're not. For more than 40 years, our certified financial planner professionals, acting as fiduciaries, have been providing retirement planning and asset management for a fee to countless families across Central Florida.
We've been with Certified since 1992.
We're now into the third or fourth generation of clients that have come to CFG and the team here to do a great job.
It's been so long since I've been doing this that I just don't even worry about anything anymore.
We're Certified Financial Group, where we're planning tomorrow, today. Black Monday, the dot-com bust, 9/11, and now 2 wars. We've pretty much seen it all. Acting as fiduciaries, our CFP professionals have been a steady hand guiding our clients to and through their retirement years.
No reason to be worried about anything.
Stay the course. You stay the course, and you get there.
I don't have to worry about it like I know a lot of people look at it every day. I don't have to do that with the team here at Certified Financial Group.
We're Certified Financial Group, where we're planning tomorrow, today. Are you tired of trying to reach your advisor through a call center and being put on hold for 20 minutes? That's why we don't use one, and our clients seem to appreciate the personal touch.
They always answer my questions and really care about what's going on with me.
You can trust what they say, and they do what they say, and it gives you a comfort feeling it's hard to find in the world today.
You know, waiting for you to call almost. You almost feel like that.
We're Certified Financial Group, where we're planning tomorrow, today.
As an investor, you want peace of mind. You need to know that your advisor is not only thoroughly competent, but also a fiduciary. In other words, he or she is acting at all times in your best interests. You need to trust your advisor, regardless of how much money you have to invest or what part of the world you're in. It might not be your money you're entrusting the advisor with. Perhaps you're a board member of a charity or foundation whose future depends on prudent investment. Or perhaps you have the responsibility of making investment decisions on behalf of other people. As the trustee of a retirement plan, the decisions you make can have a direct impact on the lives of your employees. Whatever type of investor you are, the solution is to use an advisor certified by the Center for Fiduciary Excellence. A CFEX certified advisory firm demonstrates its adherence to a global fiduciary standard of excellence, a defined standard with specific criteria covering 21 best practices. The documented, repeatable processes and the evidence-based decision-making that CFEX demands are more likely to generate investment portfolios that match client needs and expectations. And because the firm voluntarily agrees to a rigorous annual audit, investors can rest assured that their advisor continues to work to the highest professional standards. This independent verification is even more critical for trustees and investment committee members of retirement plans who are legally required to conduct regular due diligence on their service providers. Use a CFEX certified firm, and that job has been done already by an expert at no expense to the plan. So why leave anything to chance? Insist on working with investment professionals you can truly trust. Insist on using a CFEX certified advisor.
Back to On the Money here on WDBO AM 580, always streaming inside your very own WDBO app. If you find yourself inside that app and you got a question for either Joe Bert or Harry Stadelmayer or, well, both, two certified financial planners with a certified financial group here answering your questions live on the air. If you want to send it in using the WDBO app, find the open mic section, record your question, and send it on in. I'll play it live as if you're sitting here in studio with us. If you want to call in, you got a little bit more of a detailed situation to go over. We got open lines, 844-580-9326, 844-580-WDBO. Or if you want to call right to the offices of Certified Financial Group, I'm giving out all kinds of info right now. If you want to call right to the office, Rodney Ownby is taking calls off the air. If you want to get to a little bit more specific numbers or something, you want to keep your conversation private, Rodney Ownby, Certified Financial Planner, standing by at 407-869-9800, 407-869-9800. And one more way you can reach out to the team at Certified Financial Group, well, you can go to the office because they have pretty cool educational programs there. Isn't that right, Joe?
Got them coming up, right, Harry?
Yes, we have next Saturday. Is it? This is
Saturday.
May 3rd today? Are you
Yes, all
kidding
day.
me? Next Saturday, May 10th, from 10 to 11:30. The topic will be how tax planning changes through 4 stages of retirement. So if you are at or really near retirement and you're doing some planning, this would be outstanding for you to attend. Dave will be hosting. There is no charge. It's here in our wonderful learning center, and we will kick this thing off next Saturday at 10 o'clock. And again, it's how tax planning changes through the 4 stages of retirement. So once you're in retirement, Dave has some strategies about saving tax dollars and making the smart decision of where do you pull money? Do you pull it from your Roth? Do you pull it from your IRA? Do you pull it from your non-qualified? So there are strategies from a tax basis.
Well, the impact that pulling the money out of your retirement accounts can affect your Social Security taxation and your Medicare premium. And you just had some experience with Medicare. Hey, you want to talk about that?
Oh, my goodness. I was telling Joe as we sat down, I said, Joe, when I started here, I had my driver's license for 9 years. and now I'm in the Medicare maze, I call it. How in the world do these people know you're turning 65? I told Joe, I said, I probably have 150 pieces of literature on my desk from folks. Medicare, wow, what a journey. But if you're at or near 65, you're getting inundated, and I would encourage you to start doing your homework. We do have some resources here. We also, Gary also from time to time does a Medicare workshop, but it is a maze. I actually sat down with a professional, and I'd like to think that I know a little bit about Medicare, and I found out I know very little about Medicare when we started getting into the Advantage plans and the actual plans and the Medigap plans, and then Part A and Part B you're in, and then C. Wow, it is a maze. However, once you sort it out and you find out your situation, is the Advantage plan better? Is the Medigap plan better? You move forward, and I enrolled this week, and I'm waiting for my card. But it is quite the maze. And again, for those of you at or near, begin early. Don't wait till your 65th birthday, because you have the ability to sign up 3 months prior, or I think it's 3 months after. Mm-hmm. And again, Gary, I don't know his next workshop, but Gary does an outstanding job of handling, and I think Dave may also workshop. So keep up on our website, and we'll have those. Probably sometime this summer, I would think that we'd have a couple more on the Medicare maze. Yeah, but it is a process.
Well, yeah, I experienced it myself. Your mailbox almost explodes with all this stuff. You're getting, the regular mail gets lost with all the solicitations that you get, and it's a big industry. I mean, 10,000 baby boomers a day turn 65. So
if I had gone to every luncheon, I'd be about 450. There's a lot of free lunch, so you may.
And I would stay away from the lunches.
I would too,
because they're offering the expensive plans. So you don't want to do that. You want to deal with an expert and so forth. But you can do it yourself. I mean, once you know what the plans are, you don't need to really, spend all the time and going through. But anyway, I'm digressing. Anyway, so we have more workshops there, Harry.
Yeah, and then we also on July 12th. I know this is out a little ways, but these do fill up, so you may want to get your name on the list. On July 12th, we'll be Dave again will be doing Savvy IRA Planning for Boomers, and this is strategies to help you save taxes and get more out of your IRA, which sounds a lot like his first one, but it is different. And that again will be on July 12th. These are all on Saturday, and then Gary Abley will be doing one on July 26th. And again, more tax-efficient investing and distribution strategies. So we're kind of hitting the tax button here for retirement planning. So again, that is Gary on July 26th, and I would encourage you to go to our website and register. There is no cost. You're not going to walk out of here with anything but a lot of information and knowledge. And certainly, if you're a client, you're welcome. If you're not a client, you're welcome. And this is our way of introducing who we are and what we do day in and day out. And it's an opportunity for you to get some great information on a Saturday morning.
We haven't mentioned in a while either, Harry. We've got a couple of outposts. We have clients really all over the country, but some folks are reluctant to come up here to Altamont Springs for whatever reason, particularly folks up in the Claremont Winter Garden area. And the good news is we're going to be establishing an outpost there in the Winter Garden area probably in the next 30 days or so. So stay tuned for that. And we also have one up in the Daytona Beach. So if you have, if you're in that particular neck of the woods and don't want to take the drive to Altamont Springs, we encourage you, of course, to come to our office anytime. But there's an opportunity for you to meet with one of our certified financial planners in one of those locations. So for more information on how you can do that, go to our website. That's financialgroup.com. financialgroup.com. I see a text question floated in there, Josh, so take it away.
You got it. If you want to join the conversation, call in 844-580-9326. Send in your open mic using the WDBO app. We got a text question from Richard. Richard says, my mom, who died last year, has a credit card balance. Let me start that one over. My mom, who died last year, has a credit card balance, and when reaching out to the credit card company, they stated that we are not responsible. Does this need to be paid, or does the balance just go away?
Oh, does the balance just go away magically? No. Well, it could be a maybe. typically the estate has to handle any outstanding debt that may incur. Also, in this situation, we don't know if mom had a surviving husband. I'm assuming no. But
if the husband wasn't on the credit card,
it may still be a situation. Basically, there are several steps that need to be handled. First of all, you obviously need to notify the credit card company. It looks like Richard did that, and they told him that he does not need to pay that, and that's accurate in that he doesn't, but the estate typically does. But you need to notify the credit card company. Obviously, if there are heirs, they need to stop using the card. That would be important. And then also make sure that if there were any recurring Netflix accounts or anything of that sort, that the card literally be shut down. And I found this interesting in doing some research. The deceased cardholders are major targets for identity theft.
Oh, yeah.
They go online and look for obituaries and recent death records in hopes of snagging a name or unprotected data. So it's extremely important for you to make sure that those credit cards. But if there is a balance, it is an unsecured, so it's lower on the totem pole, but chances are that will have to be satisfied from the estate, not from individual heirs.
Right. Yeah, individual heirs are not responsible. So, if mom or dad was spending a lot of money on their credit cards and left a huge bill, you are not personally responsible for it.
And that just brings me back to also making sure that you have all your. I had some folks in new. They're fairly young. They had never thought about estate planning. And estate planning sounds like a very large, important event. It is, but it's something that needs to be handled. It's kind of like cleaning the garage, right? You don't want to do it, but once you do it, you're glad you did, and you put it away. At least having a will in place, and with the will comes a healthcare surrogate, a durable power of attorney. Durable power of attorney is so important. I don't care if you're young or not. I-4 is a mess. If you get hit and you're unable to make decisions, you need to have that power of attorney. And if your heirs call our office and we don't have a power of attorney on file, we can't talk to those folks.
Right.
And that also happened to me a couple weeks ago. And so you need to make sure that your estate planning is in place. So hopefully Richard did some estate planning, and they have all their P's and Q's in order on that. But it is very, very important. I don't care if you're 25 or 65. If you do not have your estate planning in order, it is probably, I tell clients, or prospects that come in, if you never see me again, please at least do that for your family.
I say the same thing.
Family.
Yep, without question. Yep.
So that's
a scoop. I never thought about those recurring charges in the credit card.
Yeah.
Mom or dad passed away, and you've got that Netflix account and all those things that you automatically renew. Even back in the day, your termite, not your termite, but your lawn care people, set it up on an automatic payment through your credit card when it came due, and all of a sudden you've got all these extra charges that have been running for 3, 4, 6 months after someone's passed away. You don't think about it anyway. So sometimes the bills keep coming in.
That's why it's important to shut that down and don't avoid it. Call the credit card company and just let them know.
I see we got another text question there, Josh.
You got it. This one comes to us from, let me look in our list here, Christine. Christine's got a bit of a long question, so maybe we can tee it up here and answer it after the break. Christine says, I'm in my early 60s, and I have $225,000 left on my 3.1% mortgage. My non-qualified account has approximately $900,000 in various stocks. My thought is to pay off my mortgage, freeing up $2,400 per month and allowing me to become debt-free. My plan is to work for 3 more years and begin taking Social Security at 67. Curious of your thoughts. We got about 90 seconds here if you guys want to start off Christine's answer.
This is a classic financial planning question. Very difficult to do on the air, but my gut feeling in my 20 seconds here is that if in fact she only has 900, not only, it's a nice chunk of change, but she's pulling out, about 40% to pay off a mortgage. And oh, by the way, 3.2%. Congratulations, Christine.
You'll never see that again. How many more years does she have on the?
She didn't say how many more. She says she has 225,000 left on a 3% mortgage. So I like the fact that that's your only debt, Christine. That's to be congratulated. But I'm not sure that I would take that lump sum of money, especially if it's only at 3%.
Right.
I would keep that money, that 900,000, working for you. Again, historically, 8 or 9% in a good growth portfolio mutual fund. I'm not sure that I would take those dollars out of circulation. It could affect your retirement substantially. Again, being debt free is a goal of most, but that is a large amount of dollars to pull out of the market.
Well, yeah. Well, not only that, but you're taking the money out of something that hopefully is growing for you, and you're putting it. You understand you're paying off your house, but once again, you can't go to the kitchen sink, turn on the faucet, get cash flow. You can't get that money out of the house unless you're going to do a reverse mortgage or a home equity line.
Right.
And so, you're 100% right, particularly with the 3.25% mortgage rate. I have to look really long and hard before I'd recommend.
Real estate rich and cash poor.
Yes, for sure.
It's kind of hard to sit in a rocking chair and enjoy your retirement if you don't have the funds.
And heaven forbid that money is in a retirement account. That's for sure a no-no, because you'll be paying taxes on top of that. So
absolutely.
Okay. I hear the bumper music. Josh, take it away.
Thank you. Consider it taken. If you want to call in, 844-580-9326 is the number to join the conversation. Joe Bert and Harry Stadelmayer, 2 certified financial planners with the Certified Financial Group, here answering your questions. Rodney Ownby taking calls within the office off the air. If you want to call in, 407-869-9800. You're listening to On the Money. We're planning tomorrow
today
with the Certified Financial Group.
So you guys don't know Chicago, but I'm sure in your neighborhood you guys have an old school butcher where you walk in and there's a bunch of guys, no gloves, big white aprons, and there's Frank and there's Stevie and there's Mikey. And these guys know more about meat and more about animals and more about cooking the meat than any of us will ever learn. And so you walk in and you say, hey, Lou, I'm barbecuing this weekend, right? What do you like? And Lou goes to the big racks of stuff he has underneath the glass, and he goes, the veal chops, just in from Argentina, they are the bomb. And you go, veal, oh, I like veal. Well, what do you got on skirt steak? Oh, we got some great skirt steak, just came in yesterday from Montana. Skirt steak is one of my favorite, marinated up a little bit, it's fantastic. Lou will never say to you, Elliot, it's a little long on the meat here, big guy, your cholesterol is getting high. Why don't you go down to the fishmonger a couple blocks and have a nice piece of salmon? Right? He'll never do that. Why? His job is to sell me meat, and I go in, actually the same way I go into the Toyota dealership, because I like Toyotas, and I trust the salesman to sell me a good product if I trust him. And the fact that he's got my interest at heart vis-a-vis my expectations for selling me that thing. By the same token, when I go to see a dietitian, I know she's going to look at all of my labs, she's going to take all the measurements, she's going to run all of her analysis, and she's going to absolutely give me her best thinking on what's best for me. Whether she's a vegetarian or a meat lover, likes this, likes that, if she thinks I should be doing something differently, even if it's not good for her, she's going to give me an opinion that's for my interest. So what's the difference between a fiduciary and the brokers? Well, these are dietitians, these are butchers. It's that simple. Brokers are butchers selling product. Fiduciaries are dietitians looking after your health. The problem is most people think that their butcher is a dietitian. So when one of your moms or dads or friends calls the broker and says, I got $200,000, I sold a little piece of property, or I got some inheritance, what should I do with it? They're going in thinking they're talking to a dietitian, and they're really talking to Lou the butcher.
What is a fiduciary? When it comes to investing, a fiduciary is legally required to act in your best interest. For 40 years, planners at Certified Financial Group have been guiding our local clients toward financial peace of mind. The rest of the world is still catching up, but our team of certified financial planners are the local, experienced fiduciaries you can trust. Certified Financial Group are your Central Florida planners. Call us today.
40 years ago, I had a dream of building the best personal financial consulting firm in Central Florida. Now, with 14 certified financial planners acting as fiduciaries, I believe we're there. But don't take my word for it.
As we approach retirement, we have the freedom of choice.
Peace of mind that we now have, that's everything to us.
The people that work here are honest and caring, and I feel like I can go to sleep at night.
So schedule your no-obligation visit today at financialgroup.com, or we're planning tomorrow. For more than 40 years, our certified financial planner professionals, acting as fiduciaries, have been providing retirement planning and asset management for a fee to countless families across Central Florida.
We've been with Certified since 1992.
We're now into the third or fourth generation of clients that have come to CFG and the team here to do a great job.
It's been so long since I've been doing this that I just don't even worry about anything anymore.
We're Certified Financial Group, where we're planning tomorrow, today. Our fiduciary approach.
Welcome back to On the Money here on WDBO AM 580, always streaming inside your WDBO app. If you want to call in, the show is nearing an end, so I want you to take down a different number as Rodney Ownby will continue your own personal episode of On the Money. He'll give him a call at 407-869-9800, 407-869-9800. Some great workshops coming up with all the CFPs inside CFG, Certified Financial Group. And if you got any questions about if your money is in the right account, that's a question that they're happy to answer.
That is exactly what we do. We got a workshop coming up, as you said, on a week from today on planning through the 4 stages of retirement tax planning. But Harry and I were talking about at the break. He had a client. Was it this week, Harry?
About a week ago, a week and a half ago.
Client that was maxing out his contribution in his 401k on the Roth side, and he felt really good about that because ultimately the money will be tax-free when he pulls it out. However, the income was high enough that they're missing some opportunities, right, Harry? What'd you say?
The idea, and for those listening, we'd love to do retirement planning. We call it retirement snapshot or financial planning. And this was a situation where we went through an extensive consultation and took a look at all the A's and B's and C's of this particular client and did a financial plan for them. And when we presented the financial plan and kind of their roadmap to success, one of the things that stood out is they were doing some big contributions. They had very nice income, and they were putting all their 401k money into the Roth within their 401k, which is very common nowadays. But when we actually sat down and showed them literally on the screen by doing some what-if scenarios, by taking some of that money, maybe not all of it, but some of that money, putting it into a traditional 401k, of course, with the 401k, it's pre-tax dollars that are going in, so you're not taxed on that. And we ultimately ended up saving them almost $6,000 a year in tax by just making a simple phone call to HR and saying we'd like some of this money to go into the traditional 401k. And I don't know about you, but $6,000 a year is a sizable chunk of change, and you start doing that for the next 20 or 25 years, and their income is, like I said, is good. It's probably going to continue to go up. So that's the value of doing financial planning.
And it wasn't just a guess. You crunched the numbers. Fortunately, with our software today, we can show you dollars and cents exactly what the impacts of the decisions that you're making. People make these decisions about Roth IRAs because everybody's talking about them. I want to have one. It's the best thing going. In some cases, it is. In some cases, you're really hurting yourself if you do it the wrong way.
Well, in this case, if their income was maybe not substantial, it might have. It might have been made sense to go Roth. And again, we suggested they leave a little bit in the Roth or contribute to the Roth. But by just shifting some dollars into the pre-401k, we will be saving them. They will be very happy next April.
There you go.
Very happy.
So once again, as a reminder, we've got some workshops coming up a week from today. Dave Bellachristian will be, this is a good one. They're all good, but this is especially a good one if you're at or near retirement on planning through the 4 stages of retirement, when and where to take money out of your retirement accounts. Absolutely free from 10 to 11:30 at our offices up here in Altamont Springs. If you want more information about that, go to our website. That's financialgroup.com. financialgroup.com. And if you get here early, you can see the monkeys do the radio show here right behind the glass. And if you heard some buzzing around here, we got a drone flying through the office this morning. We're doing a little video to introduce some folks that come to our website, what we're all about, and our offices and so on and so forth. So I haven't heard any crashes yet.
I have not. I saw Donnie have a cup of coffee. It made me a little nervous. He's got to keep that steady hand.
So duck your head when you walk around the office here this morning. So once again, Rodney Ownby's taking calls off the air at 407-869-9800. And that is it for this program. Josh, we appreciate you being here and want to wish our listeners a great weekend and be safe. And hopefully we'll get some rain.
Thank you so much. You just listened to On the Money, where we're helping you plan tomorrow
today
with the Certified Financial Group.